Welcome. I'd like to begin this session by thanking you for volunteering as one of the peer reviewers for online courses here at ACC. Peer reviews are an effective way to ensure quality in the courses that we offer our students online, and your participation as an experienced online instructor is an invaluable part of this process. Let's take a few minutes to talk about the peer review process. First, let's talk about what peer reviews are. Peer reviews are systematic reviews of online courses that are conducted by volunteer peer reviewers such as yourself. Each course is reviewed by a team of 4 to 5 reviewers. These reviewers are important to us because they help us maintain the highest quality of excellence in our online programs and courses. You might wonder why we choose to conduct peer reviews. To put it plainly, we do it because SAC says so. The Distance Education and the Principles of Accreditation document that they publish states 3 things. 1. The institution should ensure that faculty have played an appropriate role in designing the courses and programs to be offered by distance education. 2. Faculty should be engaged in distance education course program planning and systematic review. And 3. Faculty should play an appropriate role in academic oversight of distance education initiatives. To summarize, we want you, the faculty member, to be involved in course design, course review, and course delivery. Without you, we can't hope to have the quality programs that we desire. Would this be a good time to say thank you once again for assisting with the peer review process? Instructors who have participated in the program in the past have reported several personal benefits they received as a result of their participation. One instructor reported that she was really happy to see how other online courses were designed because she was able to get ideas for her own course design. Another person said they were happy that they could assist with the quality of courses that we offer here at ACC. Being a part of the ACC family and being able to give back was a good feeling for this person. This is also a good opportunity for you to increase your understanding of current, effective online course design. The field of distance education is constantly growing and expanding, and this is a good chance for you to stay current. Now we will move on and discuss how the reviews are actually conducted. Here at ACC, we conduct all peer reviews online using the CARET system. You will be assigned a specific course to review. You will then log into Blackboard and access that course. You can then open a different browser and log into the CARET system. From there, you will have access to the grading rubric and will add your scores and comments. Once all reviewers submit the reviews online, the comments and scores are then compiled. The reviews will be shared with the instructor and the appropriate department chair. If needed, recommendations for course improvement will be suggested. The instructor can then work with the instructional design team or other peer mentors to make necessary changes. Now that you have an understanding of what peer review is all about, let's take a closer look at the CARET system. First of all, what does CARET stand for? CARET is Course Analysis, Review, and Assessment Tool. This is an online instrument that facilitates peer review of courses. Its foundational feature is an online rubric that reviewers use to rate specific course elements on a 5-point scale. Specific comments can also be entered. The rubric is structured around 5 sections, which are further divided into subsections. Each subsection includes a set of related course elements, each element having its own set of quality measures to guide reviewers to assign specific ratings. After reviewing all the elements within each subsection of each section, the reviewer assigns an overall rating for the section. This rating is a holistic assessment of the entire section. After reviewers submit their assessments, CARET compiles all reviewers' reports into a composite report that shows averages of all the reviewers' ratings. Let's take a look at the simple steps involved with completing the online evaluation. The first thing you'll need to do is to log into the CARET system. You'll receive an email with all of the information that we are discussing in this tutorial for your convenience at a later time. So the first thing you're going to need to do is to open the location for the course review. The CARET system is located at http://caret.vct.org. You'll log in with a username and password provided in the email that we send. The username and password are case sensitive. The username will be your first initial and last name in all lowercase letters. The password is review and the year. For example, if a review is conducted in spring of 2015, then the password would be review 15. If it were conducted in the fall of 2014, the password would be review 14. Once you log into the system, you will have the ability to change your password. If you want to change your password, click the Change Password link at the top of the Carrot screen. Enter the new password, verify the password, and then submit. When conducting a review, you'll also want to open a different browser and log into Blackboard to access the course that you'll be reviewing. You will not use your regular Blackboard login though. The username will be Review1 and the password will again be Review14 or Review15 depending on the year of the review. The numbers connected to the year in which the review is conducted. Once again, all usernames and passwords are in lowercase. Please note, if you want to use the student view in Blackboard when you are conducting your reviews, you will need to make the course available for a short time. Please be sure to make it unavailable once again after you gather the data that you are after. Now let's look at Carrot a little closer and see how to navigate. The initial welcome screen once you log in contains a few items that you need to be familiar with. The course ID for the course you're going to review can be selected from the drop-down menu. The buttons that you see on the left-hand side of the screen display the 5 rubric sections that we are going to evaluate. You'll click each numbered section to navigate to that portion of the rubric where the scores and comments can be entered. Let's also take a moment to explain the 4 buttons that you see: Submit, Save, Load, and Print. The Submit option will submit the completed rubric after you complete the entire evaluation. Once you submit the online rubric for a specific course, it will no longer be accessible, so be sure you're finished before selecting this option. The Print Evaluation button prints the rubric with your ratings and your comments. Do not use the print option in your browser though. You may lose your evaluation data. Use only the print button provided by Carrot to avoid these kind of problems. The Save and Load buttons allow you to begin and return to an evaluation that's already in progress in case you need to start and pick it up again at a later time. So use the Save button to save your responses so that you can return later to complete an evaluation that you've already begun. Be sure to log out after you click the Save button. Make sure that you also close the browser completely down and reopen before trying to open the rubric again, or again you might lose important data. To return to the evaluation in progress, all you have to do is log in again, and then you will click the Load Evaluation button on the right. Then open the section on the left and continue scoring like you did previously. Let's now look at how to actually enter scores and comments. To score a selected subsection item, select a score for each subsection by clicking the number associated with the applicable rating description. Scores may be changed any time up until the evaluation is submitted. Just click the Add Comment button if you want to document any additional observations. Comments may be edited as well up until the time the evaluation is submitted. Note that all section comments are summarized beneath the final subsection item for you. Beneath the comment summary, you have the opportunity to rate the section overall. Use the slider to select a rating that best applies to the entire section taken as a whole. The rating you select will be included in computing the composite report average score. If you think that the initial average score that you see is appropriate to the overall rating, then you can leave it right where it is. Once again, after you complete the entire evaluation, you have the option to first print your evaluation with scores using the Print button, and then you submit the evaluation using the Submit button. Once you submit, you cannot return to the evaluation to print it, so be sure to print first before you submit. Now that you have a good idea of how to use the system to enter your scores and comments, let's take a look at the rubric itself. The Carrot rubric contains 5 major sections. 1. Organization structure. 2. Interaction and communication. 3. Content. 4. Navigation, usability, and 5. Assessment. Each section contains smaller subsections that will be scored by you, the reviewer. Scores will then be averaged and an overall section score will be obtained. We're going to take a look at these subsections and provide a few details regarding what to look for during your course evaluations. Section 1, Organization and Structure, contains 4 subsections. Let's look at these. Section 1.1 is Syllabus Elements. You would look at the course syllabus and ensure that all required elements are located in the syllabus. You will be given a checklist for all these required elements for online syllabi for comparison. Look for confusing items, misspelled words, or anything that is simply inaccurate. For the highest score of a 5, the syllabus must be in a printable format. Look for PDF versions of the syllabus. If you determine that the syllabus for the course you are reviewing is complete, detailed without errors, and in a printable format, you would click the number 5 to record your score. If you have any comments to add, click the Add Comments button and enter your comments or suggestions. Please try to be as detailed as you can when offering comments. This will help the instructor know what changes are needed. It is also great to offer positive feedback where appropriate. We're not only looking for areas that need improvement, but we are encouraging our instructors who have done well on course design. Section 1.2 asks for you to look at the course menu. There should be a Start Here link so the students have a logical place from which to begin the course. The menu should logically be organized and not contain too many elements. When appropriate, the menu might need to be further organized into subsections. The main point is that it must be organized, consistent, and easy to follow. This course menu is an example of a complete and well-organized menu. Note the sequential arrangement of course modules and the subsection dividers for course resources. The student can also quickly know where to begin the course by clicking the Start Here link in the course menu. Section 1.3 is about the course content. The first thing to look for is actual course content. Content would be considered the equivalent of the face-to-face lecture. Think about what the input is for the student. Do they read required text? Are there lecture notes, PowerPoint presentations, YouTube videos, audio lectures? Basically, how is the student being taught in this course? It is not acceptable to simply post tests and a syllabus and consider this to be an online course. I need to stress that the old TBA mentality where students are expected to learn everything on their own is no longer an acceptable way to deliver courses online. If content is present, look at how it's organized. It should be arranged in a logical, sequential manner. Each unit, chapter, or topic, depending on how the course is organized, should include an advanced organizer and should end with a summary. Here's an example. The overview here sets the stage for what is required in that unit or module, and the objectives are listed for that unit. The wrap-up at the end restates the purpose of the unit and provides a closing statement to end the module. The rubric also mentions a sitemap. The sitemap clearly details how to move around in the course. This is an example of a portion of a sitemap that explains the course menu arrangement. The last portion of the organization section is about instructions. You will look for very detailed explanations for every element in the course. Can you quickly figure out how to set up your computer for the course? Do you know how to take a test? Do you know how to turn in an assignment? Do you know how to post on the discussion board? Do you know how to send an email? Are there other required activities in the course that need explanation? Do students know how assignments, discussions, or tests will be evaluated through the use of rubrics? The more details, the better. If you cannot quickly answer these types of questions yourself, then more instructions are needed and should be added to the comments for this section. Now let's look at Section 2. Section 2.1 is about the communication plan. To receive the highest rating, you need to look for multiple ways that students can communicate with the instructor through email, discussion boards, chat, etc. Look for a statement that explains how long it will take to receive a response back to any communications, including feedback on tests and assignments, and also on returning messages. You should immediately be able to detect the ways that students can communicate and what to expect in return from the instructor without having to dig too deeply into the course. Section 2.2 is about the instructor's use of the discussion board. This is about the extent to which it is used. This does not mean that there has to be a large quantity of individual topics. It concerns the activity level of the instructor. Ask yourself, is this instructor an active participant on the discussion board with the students? Subsection 2.3 in turn has you look at the students' use of the discussion board. Look for a place set up for students to introduce themselves to other classmates or to ask questions. You would not expect a student to attend a face-to-face class and never interact with fellow classmates, and this should not occur in the online classroom either. The highest level of participation is one in which students can take the initiative and post topics on their own. Group activities are a great example of this. Section 2.4 is a section that is near and dear to my heart as it is about creating community. Look for an introduction by the instructor to the students. Introductions allow the class to come together and get to know each other, and this includes an introduction by the instructor and student self-introductions. Exemplary classes will also include a place on the discussion board where students can interact socially during the course. Section 3 is about how content is delivered. The lowest level would be if content is only delivered as text. Exemplary courses will have a variety of ways to deliver the message, including videos, web links, audio, images, etc. Look for a variety and interesting ways for students to interact with the course content here. Section 3.2 has you examine the level of interactivity in the course. I know that this can be a bit subjective, but look at the activity occurring at all levels of the course. It might help to picture this in the face-to-face classroom again. Level 1 would be the equivalent of the instructor only lecturing. Students sit quietly and listen and are not allowed to ask questions. This would be one-way delivery and scored a level 1. Level 2 would be where students can come and ask questions privately of the instructor. In the online class, this would be the equivalent of a student sending an email to the instructor to ask questions. You get the idea now. The highest score in this area would be a course in which students actively contribute to the course and work with the instructor and other students at a high rate. Look for group work if it's present. Section 4.1 about navigation is very straightforward to grade. Just ask yourself, is the flow of the course easy to follow? Are there page numbers to show how to move from one part of the lesson to another? Is the course easy to move around in? Here's an example of a course that is organized sequentially. Note that the user would move from page to page using the navigation buttons to the right. Section 4.3 is once again easy to evaluate. Just look at how clearly the presentation of the content is delivered. Subsection 4.3 is about the number of tools that the course utilizes. Exemplary courses who are scored a 5 make use of the many tools available in Blackboard to deliver the course. Essential tools here would include email or the messages, discussion board, and test or assignment tools at a bare minimum. The last section is about how the student is assessed. If the only method of evaluating student learning outcomes is through simple low-level tests, then score the course a level 1. Exemplary courses would receive a 5, would show examples of multiple ways to assess students, including test, original papers, assignments, simulations, projects, self-assessments, practice tests, and peer reviews. The main point is look for multiple ways to assess students here. I wanted to share a few reminders about these peer reviews. Remember that you have the ability to begin and end an evaluation. You can save it and return at a later time. Just use the Save button. The more detail that you can add to the review, the better, as it provides pertinent information for the instructor needing to make adjustments. Also, please be honest with your evaluations, but try to state things in a positive manner. For example, try to avoid terms like you should not and don't, and replace with terms such as I would suggest that you, or I recommend that you try this. Please add as much positive reinforcement as you can. We have a very hardworking online instructors group here at ACC, and these reviews are intended to generate a sense of camaraderie and mentorship amongst our instructors. Thank you again for taking time to learn about the peer review team and the important role it plays in course quality. I hope you will consider becoming an active part of this important group.